Melinda Gates betrays Bill Gates in a glorious way. So Melinda Gates decides against giving bulk of her fortune to, guess what, the Gates Foundation. So billionaire Melinda French Gates will no longer give the bulk of her fortune to the foundation she started with her ex-husband, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, according to a report which cites people familiar with the matter. So French Gates had committed to giving the bulk of her personal fortune, estimated at around $11 billion, to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, one of the world's largest with more than $50 billion in assets. But now, she will spread the money around to other philanthropic causes, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing the people familiar with the matter. Her apparent decision follows her divorce last year from the Microsoft founder. Still, French Gates, 57, will maintain her commitment to the Giving Pledge, a campaign by some of the world's richest individuals to give away the majority of their wealth, the Wall Street Journal reported. The change in giving strategy, which hadn't been previously reported, was actually enacted last November, the report said. That's when French Gates published her first individual letter detailing her commitment to the Giving Pledge after her divorce from the Gates was finalized. The couple previously had a joint commitment to the campaign. I recognize the absurdity of so much wealth being concentrated in the hands of one person, and I believe the only responsible thing to do with a fortune this size is give it away as thoughtfully and impactfully as possible, French Gates said in her new Giving Pledge letter. The ultimate goal of any philanthropist should be to render the need for philanthropy obsolete. So, a representative for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation declined to comment. So in 2015, French Gates founded Pivotal Ventures, a charitable organization supporting innovative solutions to problems affecting U.S. women and families. She mentioned that initiative in her Giving Pledge letter. Now, French Gates has a personal net worth of more than $11 billion, according to Bloomberg, and French Gates hasn't ruled out future donations to the foundation that bears her name. The former couple made a joint donation last July. Last month, the pair jointly appointed a new board of trustees for the foundation, and French Gates remains a co-chair with involvement in its operations, and the former couple still makes occasional joint announcements regarding the foundation's initiatives. Now, the couple finalized their divorce in August 2021, and in a December blog post, and Bill Gates described 2021 as the most unusual and difficult year of my life. Gates has faced scrutiny in recent months over allegations that he engaged in inappropriate relationships with subordinates during his time at Microsoft, and earlier this year, the company announced an independent probe into its handling of the investigation into the allegations. Now, the thing to really get from this story, for those that end up stumbling upon this and staying this far into this, is that this is pretty much all BS, right? To put it frankly, this is all BS because all these super elite billionaires, right, claim that they're going to give away their money, but they're going to give away their money to charities that are under their name that they own, that they run. Really? Right? So that's something to really think about. Anytime you have these super elite, super rich individuals basically say, like, oh yeah, we pledge to give the bulk of our net worth to philanthropic causes, right? Because they want to do it in the best way possible. They want to do the most, right? But the thing is, they believe truly that the only ones to really make a change in the world are themselves, right? Which is why they create their own foundations. This is why they create their own charities with specific causes, right? So that they could push specific goals with those causes, right? So you just got to understand whenever these super billionaires say that they plan to give away their money, okay, maybe read a little bit and be like, wait a minute, you say you're going to give away the majority of your money, but the foundations that you're putting your money into, the charities that you put your money into are just under your name or that you own it in some way. That seems kind of sketchy. Now, here's the thing there's nothing wrong with opening up your own charity or opening up your own foundation. Just be honest about it, right? Don't try to like go under the guise of like, oh, we're just, generous billionaires that we're going to give away all of our wealth. That's never the case, right? These people are generous to their goals and their ideals, and they believe that they got to have control to achieve them, right? Because think about it. How else did they even achieve their billions if they didn't do it themselves, right? They had to take control and do it. So you think that they're going to just what? Randomly trust different organizations that they have no input on as to what is going to be done? No, that's not going to happen, right? They're going to do everything in their power to control everything that they can, right? Because it's the only thing that actually makes sense. Because let me think about it. If you believed a certain viewpoint, right? Let's say like, okay, let's say that you just have like this type of viewpoint as like an example, right? I view that the only way to stop people from killing themselves in terms of diabetes from overeating, right? Obesity, is that the only way to do that is to make it illegal for people to eat certain foods, right? Just use that as an example, right? So if I believe that, do you think I would trust all my wealth into charities that are not going to go down that line of thinking in terms of hiring people in certain legal fields, certain legal positions to start basically promoting that into law, right? That's the way you got to like view it, right? They might not necessarily do things directly themselves, but they want overall, like, 1,000 feet in the air, be able to control the pieces on the board to get their goal, right? And that's the thing that people got to really understand, right? You may not necessarily see these billionaires on like a day-to-day basis in terms of like news and all that kind of stuff, but they're probably at their home or office or whatever with basically their blueprint of what they are planning to do in terms of reaching specific goals. And a lot of these different organizations, these foundations, these charities are different pieces on the board that they control, right? Like, have you ever heard of the game Risk, right? Which, like, the goal of that is to basically take over the world, right? By taking over other countries, right? Or people's land via various methods, right? This is basically them playing real life Risk, right? They're trying to achieve specific goals with pieces that they own. And the more pieces that they own, the higher the likelihood that their goal, whatever it might be, will be achieved, right? So that's something to really understand.